Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coe Show. My name is Mason Coe, here as always with my co-host Aaron Coe. Today is Thursday, March 4th. Usually we record on Wednesdays, but
we talked to Air yesterday.
Just completely talked to Air yesterday.
You know,
audio.
The tech guy that you can't see him right now, but as a freaking idiot, and we fired him.
Yeah, we fired him. So I'm handling it from now on.
Yeah,
there will be no issues. So. Obviously, got some things to talk about. Honestly, kind of good that we waited today because there's been a little bit more news. There hasn't been a ton of news lately. Unfortunately, we do have to start off on a bad note. J.J. Watt becoming a Cardinal. Source J.J. Watt. But before we get into that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications, whatever, for YouTube. And, follow us on Spotify, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, follow us everywhere.
Yeah, Twitter at Mason Charles Coy, Aaron Co 29.
But don't be creepy about it.
Don't follow us in real life. just
on social media.
Follow us on the webs. Yeah. But yeah, let's just hop right into JJ Watt being a Cardinal. Didn't really say what he was going to do. It seemed like he was gonna potentially take a discount to go to a ring, but instead he's gonna go 8-8. So. Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, I don't know. These guys always end up following the damn money. It's so rare. He could have gone to play, against, with his brother.
Brothers.
On the Steelers. He could have gone somewhere. I think the Steelers will be a competitor this year. He could have gone to a couple other teams and had a chance to take a shot at a title. But, yeah, I was listening to... I'm blanking on his name now. Pro Football Talk.
Florio?
Florio. Yeah, thank you. And he was saying that these are the types of things that get coaches fired because now they have expectations, and when they go 8-8 again, the coach looks really bad. So, this I think is one of those deals. How many sacks he had last year? And he played all 16 games, by the way.
Which is rare.
Yes.
It's rare at this point.
He had 5 sacks last year.
It's not that it's not that much.
That's like Rasheem Green territory.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying he can't contribute, but I don't think it's as big a deal as, 3 years ago or 4 years ago. Yeah, okay. I just hope, the 3 games he plays this year, I just hope it's not against the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to blame a guy for taking money, but he's made his fair chunk, so you would think that maybe some other things would be priority, especially when you say it. If you don't come out and say you're gonna try to maybe take a discount and go for a ring, if you just didn't say anything at all and just went to the Cardinals and took money, I wouldn't really feel this way. But when you come out and say that you're gonna, like, I want to go to a Super Bowl contender, and then you go to the Cardinals for definitely the most money. It's just, I don't know.
I can only assume that, so how much did they give him? Was it $25 million?
I think 25 guaranteed.
Yeah. I can only assume that was just a ridiculous amount more than he was getting offers from anywhere else. And yeah, at some point, I don't know how many people would turn down $10 or $15 million guaranteed extra in addition to what he was getting out there. So
there have been reports that I think like Indy offered more, but I saw on the Pat McAfee show that he insinuated that Chris Ballard said that wasn't true because he said I have a very good source, and then he mentioned like his nice Southern accent, which he always talks about, Chris Ballard. So.
Okay.
Chris Ballard directly from the GM, wasn't true. So this really does seem like it's the most money. And to be completely honest, I feel like the Colts would have a better shot at making a run in the AFC than the Cardinals would making a run in the NFC.
I would think so.
So
one of them made the playoffs last year and the other one didn't.
Yeah,
so there you go.
Yeah. And I mean, we can only expect that the Niners will be better. I would think. I mean, I wouldn't say there's any signs that the Niners would be worse.
Yeah, if they can be a little bit healthier, then they should be better teams.
As long as Russell Wilson doesn't go rogue and the locker room doesn't get all fucked up, I think we should be good still. So
Yeah, this is a bad year to be a free agent too.
Yeah.
With the cap going down almost $20 million. There's already been casualties. There will be more.
Yeah,
not a good time to be on the market.
Speaking of casualties, the big one today, I would say. This isn't really that big of a casualty, to be fair. But Big Ben reduced his pay to $14 million from $19 million in his final year. But the cap hit is $15 million. It's reduced by $15 million. I don't really understand that. But it spread cash payment through 2022. So,
they're just moving money.
You say he's a casualty. He's really not.
Kicking it down the road.
Yeah, really a casualty, though, is Golden Tate. I've seen Seahawks fans saying, like, oh, if you wouldn't want Golden Tate back, you're crazy. I don't know.
I think his best days are behind him.
He's still a solid. He could be a contributor.
He also probably diddled Russell Wilson's ex-wife.
I don't know. That's the thing.
If you want to get Russell Wilson out of town, then sign his ass.
Yeah, they both said that that wasn't true, and apparently, I don't know, one was at they were at a wedding or I don't know, but
I don't know.
I just stay away from that. And then another casualty, Desmond Trufant.
Oh, former dog.
Yeah, one of my favorite Huskies while he was there. I still remember in the black jerseys. I forget who they were playing, but he had that pick on the sideline, that diving backwards pick. He
was a big signing by Sark early.
Yeah,
because he was a pretty big recruit and could have left. It's very similar to. I'm so bad with names. The safety at Arizona who was a former Husky, Buddha.
Baker.
Chris Peterson getting Buddha, on board early. Like those big early signings are big. So I was really rooted for him. He started as a true freshman, was a great dog, and I root for him for sure.
Yeah. So apparently throughout the week, I guess next Wednesday we'll be coming back with quite a few more casualties.
I think it's gonna be ugly.
It's
out
probably
there.
gonna be. We're just gonna have to run through a list. It might not be pulling up tweets for all of them.
Yeah,
it might just be
sure.
pulling up one tweet with a list of names. But yeah, so I guess in better news, the NFL. I guess slightly conflicting reports. I usually believe Bob Condotta, but.
He doesn't throw shit out there and see if it sticks. So when he says something, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah. So he says the NFL is expected to address the one helmet rule this offseason. If they approve use of more than one helmet, then Seahawks will wear throwback uniforms. The one helmet rule has been issued all along. So yeah, we've talked about this numerous amount of times off the podcast and on the podcast. How stupid this is. I think you're just losing money if you're the NFL by not having throwback uniforms. You know how many people would buy Russell Wilson throwback Seahawks uniforms? I would.
Yeah.
If they, I don't need a Seahawks uniform right now, but 3-4 years ago, if they had throwback uniforms, I'm buying maybe a Marshawn throwback.
Yeah.
It'd be so sick. But
it's the dumbest rule in sports, honestly. I see no upside to the rule. Now I get, they're basically the NFL's like, we don't want to be fucking Oregon.
Right.
I don't know if they say it exactly like that, but that's what they mean. In college football these days, you turn on the TV and you can't tell who the hell is playing most of the time, unless it's Alabama or Penn State.
Notre Dame. Those are really that's it. USC.
The rest of exactly. Why? Because they still sell jerseys no matter what happens, because they're iconic brands. But the NFL doesn't want to. They want you to turn on the TV and say, oh, that's the whatever, the Buccaneers and the Saints or whoever it is. They don't want it to be like, what is that even the NFL? Like that's what it is in college now. You're like, what is this Division III? No, oh my God, those are okay. So I get that, but one more helmet, how does that hurt you? One more uniform, how does that hurt you?
What the NFL isn't understanding is that throwback uniforms are already part of the NFL brand.
Yeah.
Like the Patriots, the Patriot Pat, snapping the ball on the helmet. That's
the best.
That's an NFL brand right there. The creamsicles, That's an NFL brand. That the Seahawks, the silver, the silver domes with the blue jerseys.
Yeah.
That's like people know that. It's not. I mean, and I guess the only people that might be confused are extreme casuals, but they're not the ones buying jerseys anyway.
No,
so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. It's just dumb. Like you said, literally the dumbest rule in all sports.
Yeah.
Probably dumber than the touchback rule with the fumble.
Oh, the fumble out of the end zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right. It's right there. Yeah. I don't know. They're both. They're both make zero sense.
They
to
do
me.
these fucking stupid color rush uniforms where you have the best. I mean, I guess we disagree on this. One of the best games in all of football for me personally. That Thursday, I think it was Thursday night, Chiefs Rams game, the shootout.
Right.
They're in the ketchup and mustards though. It's like I don't like watching highlights from that game. Maybe during that year a lot of people thought they looked cool, but I'm telling you, in 20 years, that's gonna be the shit that people are gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, why'd the Rams have all yellow uniforms?
Yeah.
That's where people are gonna be confused. Not if the Rams had. Well, I guess the Rams can do throwbacks because they have. Well, not anymore. They could do throwbacks again though.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, I would love to see it. Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, I mean the main ones I think I already said though are the Seahawks, and that might be biased, but also the Eagles. That's another good one. The Kelly Greens. Yeah. And then and obviously Patriot Pat and the Creamsicles. I just love those.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, I mean, imagine seeing Brady and the Creamsicles versus I don't know, the Patriots, Patriot Pat. No, they
that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that'd be great. All right, let's talk some college football. This is the beginning of the Pac-12 schedule. They open against Cal on September 25th, but we do have out-of-conference games. Michigan being the big one. Which
you're just gonna roll right over Montana? Like,
oh
you're just gonna
shit! I
discount
forgot
the opener against Montana.
They're champs, man.
Yeah,
They're
are.
Champs.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm just excited to see a 12-game schedule, which is exactly what Jimmy Lake said.
Yeah.
I think I was one of the 3 people watching the Pac-12 network.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When he was on. But yeah, it's just exciting to see. So, yeah, then you've got Michigan in week 2, and then that big Arkansas State matchup. Yeah, those are the ones you dream about.
Hey, game day potential.
Oh, game day's
coming. That's game
day
potential.
Yeah, game day's like, I hope Washington beats Michigan because we're going to Seattle to see Arkansas State.
Yeah.
Lee Corso can put on whatever. I don't know what the Arkansas State's mascot is, but he's going to, will he put on the
paper
Arkansas
bag.
State?
Yeah, the Arkansas State paper bag.
Yeah, so no, it's just great. I think it's a good schedule. I think what they avoided this year is some of the horrible mistakes they've made in the past with the Pac-12 schedule, which is doing stupid shit like take one of your contenders, have them play on the road, and then have them play a Friday night game on the road the next week against like a team coming off a bye. Like they were setting they're setting up contenders for failure. They really did, I think, avoid that. There are always a couple little things. I think Washington has 2 back-to-backs in a row, and that second one is against at Stanford, always a tough game, and Stanford has a bye before it. So that, but that's not one. It's not like we're gonna be at Oregon when them coming off a bye again.
Right.
Like that stuff, just you look at that and you're like, how can you do that in a rivalry game? It's crap. The Apple Cup again on a Friday. I still don't like that, but that's the deal that they have in place. It sucks. What I hate about that is like it sucks as a Washington fan to have it that way. I think it really sucks for the not that I care about the Cougars, but the Cougar fans, like they don't, most of them don't stay in Pullman over Thanksgiving weekend.
No.
They take that long weekend and they come back to a real place like the Seattle area or wherever, Spokane even, or wherever, and they're not, it's hard for them to go to a game.
They come back to their families who also left Pullman.
Right. And it's just tough for them to go back for a game on a Friday afternoon. I've never we got to get out of that deal at
For
some
sure,
point. That
for
game
sure.
needs to be on a Saturday.
No doubt,
So-
yeah. And also, I mean, usually I feel like Michigan, Ohio State's usually on that weekend too, but
Yeah.
doesn't that remove game day potential if it's on Friday?
Yeah, because that's always going to be on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I think, I think there's been a couple years where we could have been up for game day, like that
Yeah.
season that we were going to the playoffs. I feel like
Yeah,
I don't remember if Ohio State Michigan was that same weekend again, but that could have been game day potential.
I mean, the Gardner Minshew game, where
Exactly.
everybody thought like Washington State was going to win that game for some
Yeah.
crazy reason.
Everyone always thinks that every year. It's fucking weird. But
They might have been. I don't know if they were. They might have been favored in that.
actually,
game.
really,
Yeah,
Oh.
I did have to look that up, but it was like really close.
Yeah.
Like they got their home field
yeah.
3 points, and it's gonna snow. That's better for Wazoo. Well, not when Mike Leach is coaching. It's
Yeah.
not. So, anyway.
Oh, I forgot to mention the Super Bowl odds for next year. So Chiefs top it off at plus 550, Packers plus 900, tied with the Bucks at plus 900. Then you got Bills, Ravens, and Rams all tied at plus 1,200. 49ers plus 1,400, Saints plus 1,700, Browns plus 2,200, tied with the Hawks.
Wow.
So, and then the Dolphins are only plus 25. They're only 300 behind us on that.
Wow.
Yeah, and then like the Colts are below the Dolphins. Let's see, Steelers plus 3,000.
Huh. I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's a kind of a long shot, but those are pretty good odds for that.
What's the lowest odds? Oh yeah, so Texans and Lions open up at plus 10,000. So
I'll be curious to see how the Chiefs bounce back. It's the old thing. The team
Super
that
Bowl
loses.
hangover.
Yeah.
we saw
Everyone
it
here in Seattle.
at every turn of the way. It seemed like they could just flip a switch, but
Yeah.
not during that Super Bowl.
didn't.
And they figured out that sometimes they can't do it. And how does that affect your confidence?
I
don't
think
know.
I think Andy Reid's son almost killing someone a couple days before. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about if you had done that, and if you had done that, it would have consumed my every thought.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the middle of the game trying to call plays,
Yeah.
and I'm upset. I'm upset for the family that it happened to. I'm upset. You know what I mean? Like I just don't think that can't leave your mind.
No.
I don't think it could. So
No.
So how does he bounce back? I'll be curious, but I would not. I'll say this: no way I'm putting money on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl next year.
No, not at those odds.
Not at those odds.
Like they've essentially double as good odds, or I mean, I don't know how you say
like
that.
2-1 or
Two-
what?
However, they've they're twice as bad odds as twice as good odds,
good,
twice
I
as
think
favored,
good. Yeah.
twice as favored as the Packers.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. Whatever. I just sound dumb, but yeah. So I guess that means. Oh, also, potential new Ring of Honor member in the Seahawks.
Yeah, there's a couple things. So the Seahawks president Chuck Arnold, who we don't hear a whole lot about him. He's more the business side of it, so not very involved in the roster and things like that. So we don't hear as much about him, but he was on the Softy show on KJR on President's Day, because Softy had presidents of various teams on. And and he said a couple of things. First of all, he thought the helmet thing. This was before Condota, though, so maybe things could have changed in a few days. But he felt like it was going to happen at some point, but maybe not for this upcoming season. And he did indicate that they would definitely go throwback as soon as they can.
Yeah.
But they can't do it with the
Because he's a
blue
businessman. He understands there's so much
imagine
money
that.
to be made.
Yeah, exactly.
How much does it cost to make, 60 of those helmets?
Yeah.
I think you make the money back on the jersey sales.
And you could, obviously you could keep them and wear them, a couple times a year every year, or you could auction them off or whatever you want to do.
There's so many.
Yeah. So anyway, and then, the other thing that he said was that they had, I think they had plans to put someone else in the Ring of Honor during the 2020 season, but with no fans being there.
I'm glad they waited. For sure.
I mean, and that you wonder if they'll do it this year. Are we gonna have 65,000 fans in the stadium this year? I don't know. Seems.
Just 65,000 old and super fat people, medical workers.
Drinking all the time, smoking probably. We'll see, but I think they're itching to put somebody in. They haven't put someone in since I believe 2014. That was Big Walt.
Yeah.
And then before, they did put Paul Allen in.
Right.
Obviously very deserving, but I'm talking more about players.
They didn't specify player though, right?
They did not.
So it could be.
No, and Softy kind of prodded him, or was it going to be a player? Is it going to be a coach? And he wouldn't bite on that at all. So, which so we'll see where that goes. I think that I would love to see Holmgren get in there. Yeah. Let me tell you, like, I was thinking about this too the other day when the Seahawks got Mike Holmgren, it was like, wow, we are now a real franchise. Yeah. Like, we just made a big power move because Holmgren was like, had gone to a couple Super Bowls with the Packers. Mm-hmm. Like, he was one of the hottest coaches in the league. And like, whoa, we're dealing, we're going, we're after it. And, and the Seahawks have been, contenders, at least for their division, ever since that day, basically. So I would love to see him get in. Then you got Sean Alexander, kind of a polarizing figure. He is the Seahawks all-time leading rusher. He won an MVP. Yep. Scored I forget what it was, 28 touchdowns in 1 year or whatever the number was. Yeah. But people didn't like those few yards he didn't get sometimes when he ran out of bounds. Right, yeah. Thought he was a little bit of a pussy.
And that was a lot, I guess, more noticeable back then. Too, in early 2000s.
Now everybody's making business. He was ahead of his time. Yeah. Now everybody's making business decisions. Mm-hmm. So
I mean, maybe might have cut a few games, few years off the back end if he didn't. Who knows? Yeah. But
I'm not,
especially as a running back.
I'm not itching to see him get in. Like, I'm fine if he does get in. I don't really care either way. I feel a little bit dirty feeling like he shouldn't get in, but I also just never liked him. He seems like he's one of those guys that just seem phony. I think people had trouble buying into him as a person as well.
Yeah, because I feel like I started really becoming an NFL fan. I was a big Husky fan really from the start, but I started becoming an NFL fan pretty much right after he bounced. Like pretty much right after they had that Super Bowl appearance was when my brain had enough room to fit two teams in it. So I didn't really know, I seen highlights and I know he was great. Played with him in Madden and stuff, but I didn't know a lot about him as a person. So like, what do you mean? What do you mean by phony?
It's hard to put a finger on it, but that kind of that A-Rod vibe.
Okay, yeah,
where
yeah,
you're just like, and Russell Wilson,
Mr.
Unlimited.
Yeah, I see what you're saying though. He's doing like the fucking ludicrous videos with Ciara. It's like, what is going on, dude? Why are you so horny on the timeline all the time, bro? Calm down, Jesus.
He went from Urkel to that,
dude, for real. Yeah. Yeah, to some like quarterback football sex god. Like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so I think Alexander just gave off that phony vibe. Matt Hasselbeck is one that I think should definitely be in.
For sure.
I know he moved on, but he played his better days in Seattle.
I don't know the details of what his departure was like, but yeah. What did he do outside of Seattle? Like, what are you mad about?
Yeah, he just I think the Seahawks organization, and I get this until recently. You like guys that play. You like a Max Strong,
right? Max Strong's autograph right here.
Right, there you go.
You cannot see it at all on the camera.
Met him when you were probably 9 years old or something like that.
I barely remember it.
Yeah. They like guys like that. Now wasn't a superstar. He was a fullback. Went to maybe a Pro Bowl or two, but played with the Seahawks for like 15 years and just great. representative, role model,
role
whatever
model?
you want to call it, still lives in the area. Stuff they like shit like that.
Right.
But I'd be fine with him getting in.
Well, yeah, the thing about Max Strong is, like I said, I mean, he was really playing, his heyday was before I was really came into my own as a Seahawks fan, and I still knew who he was and was super psyched to meet him.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, this is Max Strong, no way. And so, I mean, that just tells you, he's a Seattle legend. I mean, he's a football legend, but definitely a Seattle legend.
Now, if you live in, Miami, maybe you've never heard of him, right? So
right. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's too soon for Cam. Too soon for Cam Chancellor. And then who knows if Earl Thomas will.
Gotta stop running trains for a little bit.
Oh my God!
He's a bit too busy anyway.
His nickname's the conductor. Yeah. Fuck. Okay. So
he's got to clean up his image.
Definitely.
Or he will never get in. I think he's already probably forfeited the Hall of Fame. I think he would have been on the bubble for that.
Yeah.
Like he will have to do to get into the Hall of Fame, especially. Like he's gonna have to do a PR tour.
Yeah.
And rebuild his image. Come out and say I just think he's got that dude has always had a screw loose. Always.
I hope he can, but I just don't think he really cares to.
I don't think he will. So I don't think we'll see him in the rafters.
Just because we haven't heard anything at all throughout the entire everything that's ever really happened with him. There's been no really urge to address any of it, whether it's his fault or not. But you would just think,
if he did, I mean, we love a rebound story, right? We love the comeback.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it. We made some of you are like, oh, fuck that guy, but you know what? If he rebuilt his image, you would all be like, oh, he learned from his mistakes and blah 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 blah.
And we should allow him to do that. It's not like he did some crazy ass shit. Yeah. He just did some weird shit mostly, but so there's gonna be a long list of guys. Russell Wilson, I'm not so sure about him now. I think
if he plays out this current contract, probably, but if he ends up forcing his way out of here, he'll never ever hang in the rafters. That'll never happen. No, it'll never happen.
I would like to see. I mean, it's hard to say because Russ is going to be around longer than guys like Bobby and obviously Cam's already retired. But to see a guy to see just essentially the guys from that Super Bowl team that deserve to get in. So definitely Bobby, KJ, Sherm, and if you don't think Sherm deserves to get in, just fuck off. He was the best corner in the league for those years that we were one of the best teams in the league, so he deserves to get in. Best player on our Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
So
no question.
And then Cam, if Earl Thomas can manage to pull it together, him, maybe a guy like Russ, or even just keep it on the defense. I don't know if Doug Baldwin's necessarily, because he's kind of. I feel like he's had his things with definitely Russ, and I don't know.
I could see him. The issue with him is, if he could have played maybe a couple more years.
He didn't have. Yeah, it wasn't that long.
But he's he played his whole career here. I could see that, but he may get left out because you can't put the whole Super Bowl team on there,
Yeah, that's the thing.
So I don't know,
but
I wouldn't mind seeing him up
there.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just I just threw out a list of names, but just to see a group of them all go and just have 5 dudes hang up in the rafters at once, and maybe they deserve to have their own thing, but I imagine
Percy Harvin in there.
Yeah, leading rusher on the Super Bowl team, leading rusher. So it would be cool though, especially as a reunion thing, because I'm guessing, especially with Sherm still being in the NFL, I don't know what the hell Cam's doing right now, and Bobby and KJ still playing there. I imagine they don't have a ton of time to, just kind of catch up. So that'd be cool. Yeah. All right. I guess with that, let's talk about this. We've talked about this 4 times now, but we just never managed to actually get in the podcast because of technical issues. But the national anthem. So the Dallas Mavericks, were not playing the anthem for like a month, I think, and then someone actually noticed, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're not playing the anthem," and then Adam Silver was like, "The fuck you aren't," and,
Right.
And so basically the discussion was, should it even be performed at sporting events? And you know the history of this more than I do. So I'll kind of let you go off about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, first of all, a little surprising that Adam Silver, because he's usually like, oh, you don't like the name owner? Okay, we'll call him governors. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
you know. He usually doesn't fight. He doesn't shed blood over minor battles.
No.
Which I guess some people may disagree that this is a minor battle. I don't know.
Well, the bottom line is not a minor battle.
Yeah, so there's so much that goes into this anthem discussion, and really, you know, my understanding is it started to be played at sporting events around the World War II time period, and it was, you know. It's hard to relate to what it was like then. I was a U.S. history teacher, so I've seen a lot and learned a lot about World War II. But you know, people were obviously losing family members in the war. People were like, "Oh, we can't buy meat because it's going to the soldiers. You know, we can't buy cars." Like, and they were happy. They were happy to make sacrifices, right? But it was a bonding, like. So the anthem playing at sporting events is like, yeah, we're fucking America,
right?
Like we're proud.
Yeah.
It was, you know, to unite us,
right? All as Americans, just as everyone. Yeah. Like fuck the Nazis.
Yeah, fuck the Nazis. We were all against the Nazis.
Yeah.
Even the goddamn USSR was saying fuck the Nazis.
I'm gonna say it. Maybe we just need another Hitler to unite us.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Okay, maybe we should delete this so I can have a career. That's a joke, by the way.
So, hey, how's your new swastika?
No.
So why are you wearing a sweatshirt?
No, Jesus. No.
Okay. No, we just lost 5 of our 7 subscribers.
Yeah.
No. So, but it's become divisive. You know, it's not meant to be. But let me ask you this. You know, you've been on a couple of little Jeep trips with me, and there's some different characters out there. What would you think if I put a giant American flag on the back of my Jeep and drove it down the street?
Probably don't like black people very much, to be completely honest.
Would you ride in my Jeep if I had a giant American flag on it?
I have a mullet right now. I can't. Like, I just can't do that. I can't be seen. I can't do it. And it's it's like actually really fucked up that it's this way.
It is. It's almost like the Confederate flag.
It really is, especially if you really brandish it and you got like a truck or something. And that's a genuine reaction I have, and it is fucked up that it's that way. And if you disagree, you're wrong. It's just the way it is right now.
It is. That's just how people see it.
It's just the way it is right now. And I feel like it's, I feel like the election it's calmed a little bit after the election.
Yeah.
But still, though, when I see that, it's still that reaction.
Yeah.
I think it's just because there's less of it now. But
right.
But yeah, and to be completely honest, it's not. It's fucked up that it's that way, but it's not my fault either. Yeah. Because the chance, like. A lot of the people that are doing that, they're not necessarily racist, but they probably don't agree with a lot of views that a lot of black people probably hold. Like
they're hold. It's like almost like saying all lives matter. Like
it's just
absolutely all lives do matter. But that's not why you're saying that.
That's
not why you're saying
just
that.
Come up with your own shit.
Why are you putting the big American flag on there? It's not. Was it on there a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
You're trying to throw it back in people's face. So that's unfortunate.
But what I'm saying is the American flag has been commandeered. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's too bad. It's really too bad.
Yeah.
So back to the anthem. I want to say it was about 15 years ago. So the NFL used to, players do their pregame warm-ups. They go into the locker room. The anthem is sung, and then they come out. For some reason, and most people believe it was because the military is a huge sponsor of sporting events. When you were a little kid, there's a tank in the UW, in front of the stadium, and you're like, oh, cool, tank. And you do like a half of a fucking chin-up, and they give you a football. They're trying to recruit your ass, right?
Yeah.
So why do we have flyovers? I love me a flyover.
Mm.
And people, well, who was it that
Joe Buck?
Joe Buck, yeah. Yeah, Joe Buck, our tax dollars at work.
Yeah.
But it's an advertisement.
Yeah.
The flyover is an advertisement.
They're dope. I've been at them.
Oh, they're great.
They're dope. They're just they're really cool.
I don't care how big of an anti-military person you are. If you see the stealth fucking bomber fly over your head, you're not sitting there going, "Oh my God, I can't believe that I have to be a part of this." You're like, "Holy, whoa!"
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You
There's
have
a visceral
moment.
reaction.
Yeah.
There's a reaction.
It's incredible. So, to me, I think it's weird that the anthem is sung at sporting events. I don't see how there's an actual connection there.
Yeah, I mean,
really, we just have done it, and so we're doing it.
Yeah, I don't clock into the golf course at 6 a.m. and salute the flag and sing the national anthem before I go rake bunkers and mow tees. It's not something I do, and I just feel like these guys just want to go out and work. Like this is what they do. They go out on Sundays and they try to earn their money so they can earn more money in the future and hopefully win a lot of games so they can leave a legacy.
And this is a touchy subject for our family in particular, because the person on the other side of this wall, who is your sister and my daughter, sings anthems a lot at college and
it's
some
really
pro events.
It's really cool to see.
It's awesome.
It's
I get
cool.
choked up every time I see it.
Yeah.
I've seen it 100 times, and every time I get choked up when she sings the anthem. But there's a little bit of this, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And also, when I was a sports writer, I was just like an athlete. I do my pregame. Like I set up my computer. I stretch out my typing fingers. I got my notepad.
Yep.
I'm all suited up and ready to go.
Hell yeah.
But you got to take you don't want to take a piss during the game, right? Just like a fine athlete, you don't want to leave the game to take a piss.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh, anthem singer's coming out. Piss time." I got myself
Piss time.
I got myself 90 seconds to squirt out what I can squirt out.
Oh, let's go.
So I could hear and I'm like, "Come on, let's get this rolling here." So anyway, but I became a little bit jaded because I saw it, a couple times a week covering events. But, so I just think I don't think it's going to go away, but I don't understand why we do it. And at the very least, if you don't want to see the players protest, just don't have them out there. It's pretty damn simple. I don't know why the NFL continues to roll them out there. Some might say, why would you want to take away that opportunity to protest? And I get that, but I would like to. There'll be a way. Ways will be found. Maybe
it's not the
better
only
ways.
way. I mean,
maybe even better ways. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
all right. So let's talk about our cold takes from the beginning of the year. So all right, we both said about 10 bets for each other with no reference to any bookie or
no bookie, man.
No,
how the fuck you doing?
No bookie at all. These lines we just made up our own.
Pulled them straight out of our anuses.
Straight out of our anus with our only reference was past stats from and gut feeling. So I'm just going to go down the list. I'll start with the ones I set for you. Or actually, do you want to go through our division predictions first? Because we also predicted the divisions.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's roll with that.
Yeah.
Because I made some great predictions. I'm proud to say.
For sure. All right. So we'll start at the AFC East. We both had the Bills, so we were correct. However, we did not believe in them very much because we both had a very cold take about Josh Allen.
Josh Allen hater.
Yeah. We didn't say anything specifically in this episode. We just said we don't believe in them a lot. So you had them at 8-8. I had them at 9-7. They went 13-3. But the prediction was still right.
Josh Allen going from 55% completion or whatever it was to damn near 70%. That's 5 wins.
And I don't know if we've we saw him live in Boise and he sucked ass.
Yeah.
He was throwing passes at running backs' feet on screens. Like, it was terrible.
And his completion percentage was bad in college, and it was bad his first 2 seasons in the NFL. I have never seen a quarterback improve accuracy like that. It usually doesn't happen. It's the one thing they can't get better at.
Yeah.
So amazing.
For sure, yeah. And then, all right, AFC West, we both had the Chiefs. We thought they were going to, didn't think they were going to go 14-2. I mean, that's incredible, obviously. You had them at 13-3. I had them at 12-4, so you were definitely closer on
big
that
target on their back every week. I thought a couple more teams would sneak up and bite them.
Yeah, and I think, it got close a lot of weeks. They weren't blowing teams out by any means.
A lot of comebacks.
They just pulled out. They just pulled games out. All right, AFC North, you had the Steelers at 11-5.
Steelers.
They were 12-4.
Steelers.
Good prediction. I had the Ravens at 11-5, which they were, and I did say the Steelers were going to surprise people this year, but I did not think 12-4 by any means. I thought probably 10-6, and I thought the Ravens would get it.
A lot of people thought the Steelers would be down. I felt like they were still going to be a pretty good team.
That was honestly kind of a hot take at the time because they were dog shit the year before, but Big Ben was obviously hurt, and they had fucking Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges rolled out there.
I knew Duck Hodges was going to come out and dominate, so that was I didn't realize Ben would play the whole season. Yeah. So they did it even without Duck just kicking ass.
Hell yeah.
Congrats.
Hell yeah. All right. AFC South, I had the Colts at 10-6. You had the Titans at 10-6, and they did win the division at 11-5.
All right.
The Colts, I believe, were 9-7, but they did get in.
Snuck into the playoffs.
Snuck in, yeah. I think they were the first 7 seed in AFC history, right? Was that the Colts?
Yeah.
All right, and then I did say Tennessee and Houston will be 8-9 wins, and Tennessee had 11. Houston had 4, so I was way off on that. Moving to the NFC, this is where the hot takes really come in.
Oh boy.
So we'll start with the NFC North. So actually, damn, all of these divisions have really hot takes. We're gonna start with the NFC West. We usually end on it, but the least hot take, there's actually, or at least cold take. I mean, So we both had the Seahawks. I had them at 12-4. You had them at 11-5. They were 12-4.
Nice.
You did say Cardinals are this year's Browns. I don't buy them, and I think that was pretty much spot on.
I'm telling you, every year when someone signs a big receiver, they think that's the whole football team. Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah.
The Cardinals
are the Cardinals. They have a top offense now.
Yeah, and they'll always be the Cardinals. It's just what they are.
Yeah, like remember, Houston didn't have like a super great offense either with him.
How many games did they win?
They have a top 5 quarterback and a top 5 receiver.
Yeah.
And they didn't have
Yeah, you need other players.
Yeah. All right. Now we'll move to the NFC East.
Okay.
So we both had the Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah. The football team did win at 7-9.
7-9.
Yeah, I had the Cowboys at 10-6. You had them at 12-4. Yeah. To my credit, though, and you did agree with this sentiment a little, but still, you had them at 12-4, man. Yeah. You had them better than the Seahawks.
I really thought the NFC East was so bad that was like free wins.
Yeah. Okay, but
then they go 500 against everybody else, and you're 12-4.
So that's what I
said.
Mentality. That's what I said. I don't want to buy into the hype because it never works out, but the whole rest of this division might be terrible. Yeah. That's what. So I think you kind of agreed with that.
And then Dak doesn't get them to 12 wins, but Dak might have gotten them to 10 wins. Like
9 or 10.
You might have been accurate in that scenario.
For sure. All right. Now we move into the NFC North. I had the Packers at 10-6. They did go 13-3. Now, to your credit, I will say I did convince you into making this take.
This was a hold my beer moment.
Definitely was. Yeah. I was telling you, hey, Stafford is healthy, and they won. They won their first 2 games last year when Matt Stafford was healthy.
Yeah.
And you said the Lions would win the division at 9-7. Thought, I did think Aaron Rodgers was taking a step back, but I didn't think they would be 500 or below.
Yeah, that was my main reasoning. I thought that was going to be an ugly division.
Yeah.
I thought you would have a bunch of 8-8, 9-7 teams. I thought it looked like I mean, the whole story, right, was he's on his way down.
Yeah, and then they drafted another quarterback and pissed him off. To
woke his ass up, and he's the MVP. So oops.
Yeah, and also, here's a take that you had that was good about this division though. You said it's all a game. If you tell Foles he's the starter, he sucks. So they'll bring him in and he'll be great, which did happen. And then as soon as he was the starter, he started sucking, and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
So, all right, now we move to the NFC South. So, the Saints won the division at 12-4, and you did say they were going to win the division.
Great. Okay. Yeah, you said, what's our next topic?
You said you said they were going to be 13-3. They were 12-4.
Yeah.
I thought
I'm so good at predictions.
Yeah. I didn't think that the Saints were going to be able to make up for Drew Brees' noodle arm. Yeah. So I had the Bucs winning at 11-5, which I think did they go 11? I think they won 11-5. I don't know.
They did. I'm pretty sure they won 11-5. Yeah.
So that's kind of like the Ravens pick too.
All right, next topic. Good job. Nice pick. Move on.
So here I'll start with what I said, and I was right about this. I think the Falcons will be average, but every year it seems like they're incredible or they suck. So I was kind of right. I hedged my bet on that. But here's the cold take of the year. Really, the Buccaneers will not make the playoffs. Aaron Coe. Oh man. I in the podcast I was like, it is Wednesday, whatever day it was. We have to remember this day. Aaron Coe said that they will not make the playoffs.
And this was not the Lions one. Like, I don't feel too bad about that one because I was really just kind of screwing around. But this one I really believed.
Yeah.
I thought, Tom Brady showed some signs of decline last year. Mm-hmm. I thought Brucey boy, I just thought that was an explosion waiting to happen. And early on, it's kind of accurate.
Yeah.
They struggled.
Yeah.
They were a 500 football team, I believe, early on. Bruce was saying shit about Tom in the media. I'm like, man, here we go. Here we go.
Yep.
And we're headed for 7-9, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, obviously, Bruce, to his credit, took a step back, let the coordinators coordinate, let Tom be TB12, and had a great defensive line. That certainly helped, and they won the goddamn Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. So now we'll go into the bets. So I'm just going to go down the list. So these are the bets that I set for you and you bet on.
Okay.
Full disclosure, we do know the outcome of these. So, we'll just hop into it. Trubisky, 1,500 yards. You did take the under on that because essentially my thought process on that would be, is he going to get pulled or get injured before the halfway point in the season, which he did. So you were essentially right.
It looked good for a while.
Yeah, it did. And then
Foles got hurt.
So he had 2,000. And then 2 of 3.5 starts, you took the over. He had 9.
Maybe it for him forever.
Could be it. Gronk, 6.5 touchdowns. Probably the best line that I set. He had 7.
Ooh,
you did take the under on that. So Big Ben, 14.5 interceptions. That the reasoning for that, it's kind of a high number. He's been around 14, I think, like a third of his seasons. Yeah. So that was the thought process. You took the under thinking that he would get hurt, right?
I was sure he would miss a few games, and we'd see Rudolph getting his head slammed by someone.
Yeah. But no, he just had a good year. I think he laid 10 or 11 or something. Yeah. Another pretty solid line set by me. Todd Gurley, 700 yards. You took the under. He had 678.
Oh, yeah.
Real close. Bengals wins 5.5. You took the under. Kind of a high line. But they did have 4, and considering Joe Burrow only played, 9 games? That's, that's pretty solid. There's still the Bengals, though. So, Seahawks leading touchdown receiver. You took DK, and he was tied with Tyler Lockett with 10, but that does count.
That counts, baby. That counts, baby.
Yep. Disley, 5.5 touchdowns. You took the under, and he only had 2. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I thought that would be because of injury more than anything.
Yeah.
He just didn't. They didn't use him a ton in the passing game. Mm-mm. Well, when you have a stud like Greg Olsen, you don't really need to turn anywhere else.
No, we'll talk about him. Seahawks leading sacker, 4.5.
Oh.
You took the over on that. Jamal Adams definitely
Nailed it.
He was sitting.
Nailed it.
Yep. 9.5. Jaron Reed had 6.5. Your prediction was that Bruce Irvin would be the leading sacker, which
doesn't count.
It doesn't really count like that. They don't put injury consideration in betting odds.
No.
So, yeah.
No.
We also didn't think. I don't think anyone thought Jamal Adams would be getting sent quite like that either.
No, I thought they would play him like they played Cam Chancellor, and that he, I thought he might have a couple sacks, but I didn't expect them to use him the way that they used him. So that was interesting. For sure.
All right. Carlos Hyde, 500 yards. You took the under. He only had 356.
Okay. I thought they would have used it. If you would have asked me about that midpoint of the season, I would have said bad bet. Like, I thought they would have used him more.
Yeah.
He was getting like 2 carries a game there towards
the
end.
For sure, yeah. All right. Now these are the bets that you set and I bet on. So you went 8-2 on those.
Yeah, baby, you're a terrible bookie.
Terrible bookie. All right.
Not a good career choice for you.
No. Probably not for anyone. But,
probably not.
Russ touchdown passes, 36. I took the over, and he had 40. Ooh. You said they're going to let Russ cook a little more, but just a slight shift.
They let him cook a lot more, and then they kind of took some of the cooking away, but he also was burning shit.
Yeah.
It's not good.
All right. NFL games lost and rescheduled, 4.5. I took the under. The rescheduled really saved your ass there. It was 14 games, all rescheduled. Gonna give some credit to the NFL here. Oh, they did play every single game.
Stunning.
I didn't think moving games around would be that easy.
Yeah.
I thought like if a game had to be canceled more than a day, it was just gone.
Yeah, I thought they'd wipe it off the schedule. I didn't expect to see. There was one week where we had like
KJ
Tuesday
Hamlin
night
playing quarterback or whatever the fuck his name was, the wide receiver.
Yeah, eventually. So the NFL at first was like, okay, well, we'll move you to Tuesday. We'll move it to Wednesday. And then they're like, fuck you, you're playing.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'd find a guy that can throw a forward pass.
This guy played football in middle school, right? Or he played quarterback in middle school, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's amazing that they played every scheduled game. Unbelievable. But yeah, they did move a few around, and so I won the bet, and that's really all that matters.
All right. Speaking of Greg Olsen, 550 yards. I did take I did take the under, and he had 239. Honestly, man, it's like
fuck that guy.
I'm sure he's a great dude, but fuck him. He just gonna come here and not play that good. Just hand a pick 6 away in your first game, and then say you want to go play for the Bills. Go play for the fucking Bills then.
You should have played for the Bills.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
If you can't hang on to a Russell Wilson pass, you're gonna catch Josh Allen, who probably has the strongest arm on the planet.
Yeah.
Shut up, dude. Go away. Go waste. $7 million that guy got.
Yeah.
How many dollars per yard for that fuck? Anyway.
Jesus. All right. Will Dissly games played 8.5. I did take the over. He played all of them.
Good man. Made it through.
Yeah.
Good. I hope he can, this next year, maybe he takes a couple more steps forward. I hope.
Yeah, for sure. This is my cold take of the year. Game started by Herbert 4. I took the under. He did start 15, but this is the cold take part of it. Was I directly said Tyrod will not get fucked over again, which is exactly what happened. And I'm sorry, Tyrod.
I didn't think his own team would stab him this time.
In the lung. Yeah.
Next year he's gonna get shot.
Crazy.
Yeah. That guy gets screwed over somehow every year. They're just finding new creative and fun ways to do it.
All right. Mahomes touchdown passes, 39.5. I took the over. He only had 38, though. I'm really surprised he didn't hit 40, honestly.
I am, too. I thought he was going to hit 50.
I don't know why you said 39.5.
I don't either.
Yeah, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, all right, Seahawks sacks 28, which was the number that they had the year prior. And they almost doubled it, 46. I did take the over on that. And I said the young guys are going to develop, guys like Collier and Rasheem Green, and I think you're just going to see a decent unit, which is pretty spot on.
Well, a lot of people felt like, how are they going to even get to the number they had before? Because they're losing, they lost
Clowney.
Who, literally was losing nothing.
Yeah.
Literally losing nothing. So I think people thought they might. Some people said, how are they even going to hit that number? But yeah, they found a way.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and then let's see. Speaking of Clowney, sacks 8. I took the under on that. He did have 0. Yeah, 0 at all. None.
0.
None. Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Chris Carson playoff games, 1/2 of a playoff game, and I took the over on that. So basically, this is a will Chris Carson be healthy and the Seahawks make the playoffs parlay, and I took the parlay, and it hit. So
they only used him half as much as they should have. So I think that should only count as half. I think that's a push.
Okay, yeah, then fucking DK's a push too, asshole. Like that, whatever, dude. Yeah. Okay. And then Burrow touchdown passes 24. I did take the over. He only had 15, but it was through 9 games. So, 15 through 9, that's definitely very doable. Especially, as a rookie quarterback that's developing throughout his rookie year, you would think towards the end there he'd start, getting even better. And he looked good last year too, in the limited amount I watched him. But yeah, all right. So
all I remember from him is I can in my head right now see his knee snapping.
That's honestly true. Yeah, in a Bengals uniform, that's all I can picture.
Yeah.
All right, if you weren't keeping track at home, I owe my dad $8. It was $2. It was $2 a bet. This is the first year doing it on the podcast, so I guess we'll just call it the first time we did it. But I am 2-0 in the 2 years prior we've done with $1 bets. But it doesn't.
There's no video evidence.
This feels like the first real one. So, yeah. All right. I guess in that case, it must be time for the
Yes!
Out of the week.
Yeah, baby.
All right, I want to go first. This is not particularly sports, but it's Nike, so it's close enough. And it's the sneaker game, which you're probably not going to understand a lot of the things I'm talking about. So a Nike exec has to resign after a report reveals teen son used her corporate credit card to fund resale sneaker business. So, as you know, there are rare shoes that sell for way too much money.
I don't understand any of this.
And there are limited drops on this Nike app called Sneakers. It's spelled SNKRS.
That's not right.
And there's a ton of memes because there was just a drop last night and no one got it again. There's no one ever gets these drops. So now people are like, what's his high-ranking Ann Herbert? Yeah, people are tweeting like, "Where's Ann Herbert? Like, I didn't get the sneakers drop again." So her son is essentially using bots to get all these new sneakers. And what's crazy is if you look, all those, you think that's a lot of shoes. Well, this is the inside of the warehouse where there's even more. And what's fucked up about this too is there's certain shoes that they stop producing. They like come off the shelves, and those obviously go up in value. He was in like group chats saying you should buy these specific shoes. So
Nice,
insider trading.
Little
Insider trading shit. So yeah, Ann Herbert retired. Fuck her. Apparently this kid was making like a couple $100K a month.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I mean, well, if you look at these are all Yeezys, and I don't know. I mean, assuming he knows what he's talking about, those are all probably he's reselling for a couple $100 each.
I hate people who do things like this. I hate ticket brokers that buy up all the tickets so they can take them from blue-collar people and sell them to douchebags. That's what's happening here with these fucking shoes.
You know what makes him a clown, though? He reached out to Bloomberg to write an article about him.
Oh my god.
And his entrepreneurship.
That's why he's a clown.
That's why he's a clown.
Wow.
He completely fucked over his mom.
Nice.
So yeah, but ultimately it's a good thing because I think this is a legit scandal in the sneaker industry, and I don't know how deep it runs or if if all these executives, family members have access to this, but he's running his own fucking store. I mean, it's not good. And what's also funny is he said that if you just know the right people in Portland, that you can learn this information and get access to these drops. Yeah, like your fucking mom, who's an executive at Nike, maybe.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just
anyway.
go to the Brooks outlet and buy whatever's in your size. Just stop this fucking shoe stuff. I don't understand
Hey, there's shoes and there's sneakers. That's the thing. That's what you gotta understand. There's shoes
I just
and there's
need
sneakers.
shoes.
Yeah, I wear sneakers and treat them like shoes.
Just try not to blow out my Achilles when I walk. That's it. That's all I care about.
Yeah. Okay, so who you got?
I have, I got Russell Wilson, baby.
Oh no.
Yeah. I understand his frustrations. I didn't even have a huge problem with him saying some of it out loud. I didn't like that he threw his offensive line under the bus that we talked about. Having your agent say, "Oh, I don't want to be traded, but these are the 4 teams that I might want to," that is crap.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it like this too. Like he makes, we all make a big deal out of some of the good things that he does, like go to Children's Hospital every Tuesday. You know. Speaking of Children's Hospital, and I'm just like, how does it impact the fans and the kids, and go down to sick kids when they see him pulling stuff like this? It just makes him look really disingenuous. Just like, at least on the surface, pretend like keep working your stuff through the back channels, but it's time to stop the BS in the media.
Yeah, I think the point was made, and you're frustrated about you're frustrated about sitting next to Roger Goodell and watching the Super Bowl, being bored out of your mind.
We all were frustrated.
We were all frustrated seeing it. So let's just, you made your point, and I think that point is effective and could help make the team better. Improve the offensive line, improve Russell's relationship with Pete or whatever, and that could potentially make us better. But now that your point is made,
right,
let's try to focus on winning.
I think he's trying to do I think in his mind he's starting to feel like, I should be able to do what Tom Brady does. Well, or LeBron.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna go here and bring these guys with me.
Yeah.
Yes, but you're not Russ. You're not Tom Brady, and you're not LeBron James. You're not at that level, bro. I'm sorry.
You can't.
Go back to being nerdy Urkel guy with no style. Ever since he met Sierra, he's like looks cool.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, Seattle, we got a motherfucking
He's horny.
deal."
It's because, dude, he wasn't having sex before, and all the testosterone was built up.
No, because Golden Tate. Anyway, so Russell, pull it back together. I want you to be a legend. I want to see you hanging up in the rafters. I want another Super Bowl in Seattle.
Yeah.
Let's refocus and get this shit done.
For sure. Okay, so let's move into our player and lock of the week. So
sore subject, motherfucker.
I know.
Subject.
So we recorded this yesterday, and and we both wanted to take the Nets over, and they did hit.
They went way over.
Because
that's what the Nets do.
That's what they do.
Not ever play defense.
I took Dame. Did you? By the way, did you see the Dame Lillard?
No, I didn't.
So okay, I'll show you. We can't show it on the pod, so I'll show you after. But it was Dame time last night.
Oh, okay.
I was watching it. I was at my girl's house, and I was watching on the TV. And she was like doing some homework or something. I was like, "It's Dame time!" I was just freaking out in her living room. Yeah. But yeah, it was dope. It was Paul George-esque, like, the shot over Paul George.
Yeah.
It had shades of that shot. Wow. He didn't have a particularly great game though, but anyway.
That's too bad there's no video of you saying it was going to be Dame time.
I know. He said, okay, so he hits 2 free throws, and then they get a stop where Draymond Green airballs a tip, and they get like 4 offensive rebounds and miss all the shots. Curry misses a wide open 3. So down.
Choker. He's a choker.
Yeah. Down 1 point. Dame gets the ball, goes up the court, just steps back from 35 or whatever, and bottoms. And then on the other end, Draymond drives to the net. Damian Lillard steps up and takes a charge.
Nice.
Game over.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, that was.
Good call.
Good call. Yeah. But now, okay. Do you want to go first for this? Are we doing player lock too?
So my lock.
Yeah.
Was Nets over, but unfortunately that doesn't count. So give me the Heat. It's going to be Jimmy time.
Okay.
Plus 2.5 against the Pelicans tonight.
Yeah.
The Heat, rough start, but they did lose the other night. But I think they're going to come out.
They've been bouncing
off.
Back though.
They've won 6 out of their last 7.
Yeah.
So I expect them to take care of the Pelicans tonight. Pick them straight up.
Wrong
team's favored.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Give me. Jesus Christ. There's like a couple of these I like. Give me. All right, so I was deciding between Clippers -5.5, Knicks -7.5 or -7, and Warriors +11.5 against the Suns. But give me the Clippers -5.5 against the Wizards. The Clippers are a lot better than the Wizards. Wait, hold on. I almost got baited last time too.
Oh, who's out?
Kawhi's out. Wait, Kawhi's day to day. Fuck it. They're -5.5. Take it.
Oh,
-5.5.
all in.
Still
all
taking
right.
it. Still taking it.
Bet
Okay.
the house.
All right. Player of the week. Go for it.
I'm going with, and I don't normally pick a spring training player for player of the week, but I'm going with Jared Kelenic. Now, I said this yesterday.
Yeah. This was your good take from yesterday.
Yeah.
Both were player of the week.
Yeah.
We lost both of our
I know.
great player of the week picks.
But I'm still going to pick him.
Yeah.
So last night, I love it, and I haven't seen the video of this, but apparently Scott Service was on the broadcast, and they're doing one of those cheesy interviews that I hate.
Yeah.
And I think they were asking him about calling, when do you bring players up, and he's like, well, players will tell you when, and then Kelenic like hits a dinger in the middle of him saying. The players will tell you when they're ready. Like, they really, dinger, like...
I think I'm ready,
I'm
fucker.
Ready, you assholes.
Yeah. Oh. I forgot the Raptors. OG Anunoby, Fred VanVleet, Patrick McCaw, and Malachi Flynn from SDSU. And their entire coaching staff is out tonight.
Oh, wow.
So, the Celtics are only -8 still, too.
Ooh, boy, yeah, that might be a good one to bet.
Yeah, I'm still going to stick with mine. Anyway, Kelenic.
Yeah, so... I think he's gonna. Well, first of all, let me ask you this. So you're Jerry DiPoto, the Mariners general manager. You're trying to worry about service time. So if I have a player in the minors for a month, then I can call them up. I retain their rights for an extra season.
Yeah.
Obviously, that came out publicly with Kevin Mather, and. So everybody's eyes are on Kelenic and the Mariners, even nationwide. It's a topic, right? So, do you think DiPoto's like, I hope this motherfucker hits 200, or does he want him just to be an awesome player? Like, is he secretly rooting for him to kind of struggle in this spring training?
He would never tell a soul this, not even his wife or his children or his father. But he 100% wants him to have a bad spring. 100,000%. He does not want him to have a good spring.
Yeah.
And, I just don't trust, particularly the Mariners front office or really any front office anymore. It's just kind of hard to imagine that they want to do anything except save money. Except, like, I know DiPoto has to stay within his payroll, but doesn't, like, that set your career up if Kelenic ends up being super, because he traded for him. So it's,
in what other sport or any part of life do you try to keep your young star that people are excited about down?
That's why baseball is the dumbest fucking sport right now.
Like Zion, we're all excited, but we gotta keep him down. Keep him down.
League him for a year.
Keep him down.
Yeah, bullshit.
Baseball is set up in a way that we, to keep us from being excited about these future stars. So it's the dumb. It's almost as dumb as the touchback rule and the one helmet rule. Maybe even dumber.
Yeah, for real. All right, my player of the week. Give me Jason Tatum. Yeah, so he's playing against the Raptors tonight.
He's playing against the ball boy and his mother.
Yeah.
Tonight, so he should score some points
for sure. And he's playing against Brooklyn.
Brooklyn,
yeah.
Brooklyn. Hell, the ball boy can score 40 against Brooklyn.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I forgot the All-Star break's coming up, so that's not until next Thursday. So, I mean, is there what other sport? Oh, player of the week, Israel Adesanya. Knockout. Israel Adesanya by knockout. Yeah. I forgot to talk. I'm so excited for this fucking card.
Too.
I'm so excited for this fucking card. Yeah. That fucking make it my lock of the week too. Israel Adesanya player of the week by knockout, lock of the week.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. So I just watched Jan Blachowicz beat the absolute piss out of Dominic Reyes. So that's a little scary, but this is the first fighter I'm like emotionally invested in. So This is the first fight where I'm not just like, I hope someone gets their ass beat and I don't care. Like if Izzy loses, I'll actually be sad. but there's three title fights. Izzy could become a double champ with, and that paves the path to potentially fighting for the triple championship against John Jones.
That'd be fun to see.
Yeah, and Jan Blachowicz is great, and you got like I said, 3 title fights. Amanda Nunes, probably the women's MMA GOAT, is on that card, so you can see her beat someone's ass. And then you got like Thiago Silva on there too, and he's, I know his name, so
there you go.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess. Do you got anything else?
I don't think I do.
Okay. So, in that case, follow us on Twitter at Mason Charles Coe, at Aaron Coe 29, YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. And
couple of real quick notes.
Yeah.
So, how do you fire cheerleaders?
Oh yeah, yeah. He just sexually assaulted the cheerleaders and then fired them.
God damn, that's a rough life.
Yeah.
So,
football team is replacing their cheerleaders with a co-ed dance squad, is the way they described it.
So, cheerleaders used to be cool because there were no video boards to look at. You didn't have your phone at the games.
Yeah.
So you looked at the hot cheerleaders. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many people actually even know that they're there anymore. So that may be something that goes out the window, which I don't think they'll be missed all that much. Yeah. Aaron Boone getting a pacemaker, Yankees manager.
Oh yeah, he gets hot. It's probably a good thing.
Yeah. So he's going to be out for a bit.
Damn.
So, wish him well,
for
obviously.
For sure,
yeah. One other thing I wanted to mention, Jimmy Lake says that the Huskies will play a real spring game on May 1st.
Okay.
Like an actual game.
I wanted to bring this up. So you know how there's a spring season going on right now? Not if, the Huskies did play a fall season, so I wouldn't like this, but if they didn't play a fall season, a lot of them are playing 7 games, I think.
Right.
Because I just watched Deion Sanders. He's coaching Jackson State. They just beat a team 56-0 or something.
Oh, wow.
But they have a 7-game schedule. Low key, having a 7-game schedule where the incoming freshmen can't play in this.
Okay.
So Deion's son can't even actually play.
Gotcha.
Even though he's technically a junior because he redshirted and then last year didn't count. But yeah, so having just like kind of the upperclassmen get reps and then going into that fall season, like I don't think it's actually that bad of a move.
Okay.
I think, I originally thought they were just going to be worn out and tired. And, obviously if you have injuries, then it's a different story. But
that's going to carry over.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I actually really like it. Right. But anyway, they're going to have a real spring game.
Yeah. Like I used to go to them and they were kind of fun, but really honestly, the last at least 10 or 15 years, it's just like a really bad scrimmage.
Yeah.
So I would love to see like an actual football game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we'll get to go to it this year, but
right.
But that'll be kind of fun. Hopefully it'll at least be televised. So we'll see if he does it. I mean, was so secretive about everything last year. Is he gonna really, show us who the first team is and all that?
Yeah.
I don't know, but whatever.
All right.
That's pretty much all the news and notes that I have for right now.
So yeah, like I said, YouTube shit, Twitter shit, insurance shit, Goosehead Aaron Coe.
There you go.
Book shit, Amazon and Lulu.com. Get the hardcover, soft cover, and the audiobook. Nope, ebook, not audiobook. So yeah, I guess with that being said, also I should put the camera on me. That camera died, so I've been switching back and forth between these.
Gotcha.
And yeah. So thank you for listening. If you made it this far, I don't know why, but you're dope. So thanks. Hopefully if the audio fucks up on this one, you might never see the Coe Show ever again. But yeah. Thank you and peace.
So yeah, wherever you are.